is Amber. Me and my spouse are trying for our second child. We've been trying since January of this year. Still unsuccessful. We have had 2 chemical pregnancies during that time. During all that time of trying to conceive, I have scoured the internet, just like I'm sure many of you have, looking for videos on what to do, what am I not doing, what else can I be doing to help this happen. And I found out that there was a huge lack of information on YouTube about trying to conceive. Even though there are a lot of channels of women trying to conceive in their journey, there really isn't a whole lot of information about things that did work, what didn't work. I found that there were a lot of videos of people would start something, but you never got the end of it. So I intend with this channel to not only follow my day-to-day journey as a trying to conceive vlog, just for my own records, but to also put some valid and informative information out there for other women to hopefully try to help other women conceive babies along my own journey as well. I know that it has gotten to the point with me that I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I eat, sleep, and breathe trying to conceive a baby. And I feel very alone in that journey. My spouse doesn't understand it. I don't think men came equipped with that biological time clock that women seem to have. When baby fever hits, it hits you so hard and you become so consumed with it that it's like nothing else matters. And I've spent so much money and time and energy and just put everything that I possibly have into conceiving another baby, and it still hasn't happened. And it's frustrating. I keep seeing all these other women around me, getting pregnant. They're already pregnant. The online forums that I'm on, even though they're, great support groups, and, I really advise that you join one if you are not part of one already. It's upsetting sometimes to see, women come on there and within the first month or two, get their big fat positive, and, you're left standing in the dust behind them wondering, where's mine? God, I've spent so much money. And I know that some of you can relate with me on this. I've bought so much trying to conceive a baby. Just, at first I bought the old model of the clear blue easy fertility monitor. And then I decided that that wasn't high tech enough, so I went with the new model of the clear blue advanced touchscreen, which mine has a passcode on it so that my kid can't trying to figure this out. It's like a mirror. So that my kid can't get in there and, erase data, but, you know, 3 months, 4 months, still no baby. I have, of course, the basal body thermometers. Big advocate of these. You should definitely be doing your basal body temperature, which I will do a video on how exactly to do that and why you should be doing it. Then there's ovulation test, of course, which I actually don't use the first response brand of these, and I don't recommend that you do, actually, even though First Response has really great pregnancy tests. I don't really care for their ovulation test. The surge level on them is set really high, and not every woman's surge reaches that level, so you may never get a positive if you're using those ovulation tests alone. The ones that I actually have found to work the best are the internet cheapy Wanfo ovulation strips. They actually have caught my surge every single time. But that's stuff that I'll get into more in depth in other videos. I just kind of wanted to give you guys some background and why I was starting this channel to begin with. I'm 29 years old. I kind of, and I know that, there's a lot of women out there who are much older than me and who, have successfully conceived children, not medically assisted and completely natural, and have no problems whatsoever. But I just have this biological clock that is ticking inside of me that keeps telling me that I'm running out of time, and that if I don't do this now, then I may never be able to do it. We already have one child. As I stated before, we're trying for our second. It took a really long time to conceive her. She actually ended up being a surprise. We had tried for a very long time to conceive a child. It didn't happen, and we thought it just wasn't going to happen for us, so we gave up. And I really gave up. I was daydreaming about a life without children, and, thinking of all the, fun things and possibilities of, what a life without babies would be like, because, there's positives to both sides. And, lo and behold, a year later, I found out I was pregnant. And we had Emma February 5th of last year. She will 32 next February, which is crazy. You know, they grow up so fast, but I want her to have a sibling so badly. And you know, I know that there's a lot of women out there who are still trying for their first child, and I really can sympathize with you, because it took a very long time for me to conceive my first child, and I never thought it was going to happen. Um, you know, it was by the grace of God that I even have the one child that I do have. But you know, I grew up with siblings, and I want my daughter to at least have one sibling, if not more. It's just hard. It's really, really hard when every month goes by and you sit through the first 2 week wait, you know, waiting to ovulate, and then you time everything perfectly, and then you sit through the second 2 week wait, and you know, you start taking pregnancy tests and just hoping and praying that, you know, a line is going to show up. And when the line does show up and then it goes away, that's devastating. And when they just don't show up, that's devastating in itself. The whole thing is just so frustrating and hard. After this last cycle, the cycle previous to this very last one, that one ended in a chemical pregnancy, and then I had the cycle that I'm just now coming off of, lasted 59 days, and I didn't ovulate until day 35, which was really, really late for me. And you know, I decided because even though I ovulated so late, I was still able to catch my ovulation, and we timed everything perfectly, and then it still ended with negative pregnancy test. And I decided that I was going to take a new look on everything, and that I was going to kind of flip everything upside down and start over, regroup, and try it coming from a, you know, different perspective. This time I'm, you know, adding a lot of supplements to my regimen. I'm going to do yoga at least 2 or 3 times a week for fertility. I'm trying to get a new fertility monitor that is equipped to handle my irregular cycles, and you know, which I will do videos that will go more in depth on all of the things that I plan to do differently this cycle and going forward. Up until now, we have been doing pre-seed, which, if you're not familiar with it, is a sperm-friendly lubricant. I've also been using soft cups, which is similar to a thing that doctors used to do called cervical capping, in which they actually had very high success rates with it, and it's what they did before they started doing IUI, and it just kind of phased out when IUI and IVF came into the picture, but cervical capping actually had higher success rates than IUI did, but the research money was in IUI, so that was the direction that science went in. Um, you know, which is really sad because, you know, they could still be doing cervical capping, in which there actually is a company that you can do cervical capping, real cervical capping at home, um, and I will do a video on that as well. Let's see, we were using pre-seed, the NSAID soft cups. I was taking prenatals, evening primrose during the first 2-week wait to help with cervical mucus, and omegas throughout the entire month, and that's about it. And just making sure that I was using all my monitors, my 1-fo strips, basal body temperature, charting all my secondary and fertility signs, and making sure that we were timing everything correctly. I don't know what else I could have been doing, but I'm starting this new cycle, and we're going to try things a little bit differently. My next video will kind of be an unboxing of everything that we're going to do different this cycle, and the supplements that we're going to be taking, and that I'm going to try to get started on videos of just the basics of everything, of, you know, basal body temperature taking, how to chart your secondary fertility signs, how to put it all together in one picture. Let's see, all of the products and things that are available to you to, help you conceive naturally without medical assistance or, any type of prescription drugs. Because that's really what my goal is. I don't want, and that's just a personal decision of my own, not to mention the fact that we really can't afford to go through fertility treatment because our insurance doesn't pay for it. But I am really, really trying to do this completely naturally, and hopefully whenever we do get that big fat positive, I will actually be doing a home birth as well, which, that will be way, way, in the future. Hopefully, that's something that I can start planning on fairly soon if I get, a positive pregnancy test sometime soon. But I just wanted to, cap what this channel was going to be about, what our journey has been up until now, and what you can expect in the videos to come. I will be uploading a lot of videos here in the next week to kind of catch everything up, so that, ladies out there who are kind of just starting and don't really know a whole lot about trying to conceive, that there will be a whole series of videos teaching you what you should and shouldn't be doing, and how exactly to do what you should be doing, and what the options are available to you out there to help you try to make things happen faster. I will, whatever that was. But I will see you in my next video, and thank you for stopping by, and I hope to see you soon.